Alright, Sean, Katie, as I said in one of our other videos, we're back. San Diego Comic Con, blah 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 blah. A lot of stuff happened, a lot of trailers. There's going to be a few trailers coming out in the next few days as well, so get used to trailer reactions, everyone.
But gosh darn, aren't you excited for this one?
No. This is starting in the next few, if not this week, the next few weeks, isn't it? It's August something.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2. The trailer from SDCC. So, let's... on August 29th. Let's see what we see. God, let's try not to rant.
We probably will.
Let's just, you know, try for at least a millisecond. Let's watch.
We always do, and then it ends up going downhill very quickly.
Yeah.
Sauron sees himself as master of all Middle-earth. He seeks to rule it not only through conquest, but by bending the minds of all its peoples to his own.
You were right, by the way, that's not the same actor.
No, recast him, haven't they?
Yep.
And for that he needs not armies, but rings.
In choosing to wear those rings, you have all become his collaborators.
I know you believe this ring is deceiving me, but I believe it is guiding me.
May be by his design. These rings may be how he attains power. They must be destroyed.
We will discuss the rings once you have answered the question. Who is this man?
He is no man.
Oh.
He deceived me. He is Sauron.
What am I to call you?
A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
I
Okay.
have walked across mountains and deserts.
What in the Mad Max is this?
Destiny. One the fate of the world may depend on.
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron? To try and cheat death? Might lead to an even greater catastrophe.
Oh.
Father, take off the ring.
Oh.
I'm afraid, Durin.
Was that Durin's bane?
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril. Will you abandon them to their doom?
No, what have you done to me?
Leave Sauron to me.
Promise me, Elrond. You will not stop until he is destroyed.
Forgiveness.
Oh. Is that another wizard?
No.
I need your axe, old friend.
Oh, there he is.
With me.
I was going to say, where the heck's Elendil?
That's Isildur, isn't it?
When the darkness falls, there are always some who rise forth and shine.
Who be that?
You will give me the nine.
Okay. Well, looks slightly better than... Looks slightly better than the Numenorians arriving. Not much, but a little bit.
So, okay.
Oh my goodness. Can't just make it simple, can they?
So we thought, and it feels like a lot of people thought, that the way the show was going to work was the three elven rings in the first season.
Yeah.
There, what is it, the 5?
7.
7 dwarven rings. Second season. Third season would be the 9 men, and then the final season, 4th season, would be the war.
Well,
potentially another season
for the One Ring. Yeah.
Oh, you think they'll do a whole thing for the One Ring as well?
Well, that was our initial breakdown. Was
right.
Like each show was the rings being forged, and then the final season was the War of the
But
Last
here makes it seem like Durin's dad already has a ring because he says take the ring off.
Yeah.
But then he's saying at the end of it, I want for him to give him the 9.
Yeah. So is this, what's that place called? Eregion.
I can't remember.
Something
That's just on fire. That's destroyed.
Yeah. I'm sure they said it was Eregion or something, where Celebrimbor lived. And I know in his elf form he's got another name. I can't remember his other name.
Who would be this?
Who the devil's that meant to be? But there is also a battle that I've completely forgotten where the elves are fighting outnumbered and the dwarves come and help them, and it's Durin and Elrond being friends essentially. Is this meant to be Durin's bane? Doesn't look like Durin's bane.
Do you think? I mean,
He's got nearly enough fire on him.
Or maybe this is him awakening. This is them digging too greedily and too deep.
Yeah, maybe.
Falls out the side of the mountain or something. I don't know.
But then, yeah, again, it doesn't make any sense. So how has he got the ring? I mean, I know this is going to be multiple episodes, but it took them blooming to the end of the last series just to make the elven rings.
That's what I mean. Unless him saying I want the 9 is going to be at the very end of this 2nd season, and that's what they're going to go into the 3rd season. Also, why the heck would they wear the rings?
So
She, especially her. This is the thing that bugs me a lot, because I talked about this in the last time that we watched it. She was the one that was deceived. We know that. She admits to it. She's the one that spent pretty much the entire show with Sauron. Yeah. For her to have this big, discovery, oh my god, it's him, he lied, he deceived her, and he's forged the rings, and yet she puts it on. I know it makes it seem like she's drawn into a trance, but it's like, is that really what Galadriel is? She's so easily deceived by this ring that she puts it on.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, what are they for again? There's fire, that's Narya, that's the one that Gandalf ends up with. There's the one for light, and then there's the one for water, isn't it? But I'm sure I read something before that Sauron wasn't there when these rings were forged, which is why they don't get turned into wraiths, like thingy. But in the show, he was there.
He was literally, yeah, because that was when she discovered.
Yeah.
For her to confront him, and then it cuts to the rings being made, and it's like, why would she put it on?
Also, was Elrond one of the first holders of? Wasn't him, was it?
What do you mean?
Who is it that gets given the other ring? One's Gil-galad, one's...
It's not. Doesn't Elrond get Gil-galad's ring when he dies?
Yeah. It's Círdan, isn't it?
But why would she even be offered a ring? Gil-galad was sending her away. He didn't want her there. He doesn't seem particularly fond of her. Why would she even be offered a ring? It does not make sense in terms of her character from the 1st season.
So is her thing in this going to maybe be finding the tree that she turns into Lothlorien?
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
She seems so far from the Galadriel that we've seen in the Lord of the Rings, and that's my biggest issue. It's not even.
That's the Ring of Fire as well. That's Elrond.
That's not Elrond.
Not Elrond. Whoever the other guy is. I think it's Círdan. But wait, does Galadriel always has the light ring? Or it might be water. I might be getting my elements mixed up. She has one of them. I'm sure it's light, because it makes sense given who she is.
Light.
But then surely if Círdan has one and Gil-galad has one, surely Círdan should have the water ring because he's the ferryman.
No, what Gandalf he gets that. Gandalf gives it to him. No, he gives it to Gandalf.
I know. That's what I mean.
And Gandalf has the fire.
I know. It's the fire ring, but
I know what you mean, though.
so
It would make
confusing.
more sense for him to have... Isn't that... No.
What?
I was going to say, isn't that Elrond's dad? Who's Elrond's dad?
I don't know. Okay. I do know, but I don't know.
Okay.
It's something like... He's not the guy who killed Anne Callaghan. He's got a... it's either his mother or his dad is an elf, and the other one is a man, a human, yeah. So they get the choice between man and woman, man and elf. His brother chooses man, he chooses elf. Because it's from his brother's line that I don't know if the Númenóreans come from them, but the likes of the Dunedain come from, which is, you know, they have elongated lives. But God help me, I can't remember his dad's name. I don't particularly understand.
Yeah, I don't...
He's called Sauron the Deceiver as well. Mm-hmm. So why are they all like, oh, you are so terrible, you know, you were deceived? It's like, well, that's kind of Sauron's gimmick, is it? He deceives.
She says she was deceived, and then she proceeds to put the ring on. Is it purely just going to be that this ring is... She's influenced by the ring?
But these rings shouldn't be in... The dwarven rings, yeah. The men's rings, yeah. The elven rings shouldn't be influencing them.
But you see when she's putting it on, it's like it's talking to her. Like,
no,
what?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I mean. I don't get it.
And what the heck are these? These are... Oh, they fight these in the Lord of the Rings book. I'm sure the hobbits come across these at one point. Because... Hold on, let me find it. This is Tom Bombadil.
Okay.
Rory Kinnear is playing Tom Bombadil.
Which is who?
He's the one who everyone thinks is the most powerful thing in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
He's basically, when in the books, when hobbits are running away from the wraiths, that they're getting sort of, you know, they're almost on them. They go into the woods. They come against, are they called Barrow-wights or something? In the forest, they're all too powerful because they're only little hobbits. Tom Bombadil basically comes and scares them away, you know, and he basically he's in charge of a giant forest, and he's ridiculously powerful. He couldn't be corrupted by the likes of Sauron because he's just too powerful. So one of the big questions everyone always asks is, what would happen if Tom Bombadil took the ring off Frodo? Would he be okay? And it's something like he's so in tune with nature that he can't be corrupted. But then again, this whole thing is making it seem like this is friggin' Gandalf. If this is Gandalf, I'm going to be so annoyed if this is Gandalf, mind.
It has to be Gandalf, Sean. Who else is it going to be? It wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for it to be Gandalf, but who else would it be?
None of this has made sense so far. Almost none of it.
Who is this? Who is it? Not him. Go further.
Further forward.
Him.
Is he not the King of Númenor?
I thought the King of Númenor was an old man.
Oh, it's was he not his advisor or something?
Might be, because that's a Planthier, isn't it?
Yeah.
How is that going to get to Middle Earth?
Well, it's not the only one.
I know, but the Lost Seeing Stones.
Yeah, after the fall of Númenor. One gets taken by Elendil to Middle Earth. Or well, it might be more than one. It takes a few of them to Middle Earth. But what is this supposed to be? Is this...
Who's he talking to?
Is he talking to Sauron there? Is that
what that's supposed to be?
Is that... God knows. But it makes it seem like fire in the Palantir, we see Sauron near a fire, Durin's Bane, probably. So is this going to be the destruction... Are we going to see the destruction of Eregion? Where Celebrimbor is... I mean, Celebrimbor at some point is going to have to die. He has to die. Because at what point does he start going, oh, well, I've been talking to this elf who's very similar to the guy who helped us make it. Because you would think Gil-galad and Elrond would be like, oh yeah, by the way, the guy who was helping us build the rings just happens to be Sauron. Maybe don't listen to anything he said.
You'd think, but they also let him make the rings, knowing full well that he was... Halbrand was his name or something?
Yeah.
Knowing full well that he was helping make these rings, and he just so happens to be Sauron.
Yeah.
doesn't seem like an important topic of conversation.
Yeah.
She doesn't even tell Elrond at first. He figures it out himself afterwards. doesn't he?
Yeah. So we're going to see Eregion, Celebrimbor die, Durin's being unleashed on Moria, then a battle with Adar, was that his name?
Adar, yeah.
'Cause it seems like Sauron is against Adar. Because these are the first dwellings of the orcs, aren't they? This is like
In the first season, he was talking about how Sauron was just kind of using them and that they were his children. He wants to protect them.
he was he one of the first
He was one of the ones that were
tortured?
and he was an elf once.
Yeah.
One of them ones. Yeah, I like that bit.
Yeah.
Do you not think where he was talking about
I just think it looked
the
crap.
Uruks?
The Uruks, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's already got a ring there.
Uh,
Unless it's a different type of ring. And he just likes that
so
ring.
annoying. Well, what the heck is that?
Is
that Numenor again? But yeah, like I just
She was confusing in the last one.
yeah.
That dwarf.
On August 20th, darkness will bind them. Does it say? Does it have a line about
No.
one ring to rule them all? Because what's the thing?
What thing?
The thing about the one ring?
What do you mean the thing about the
You know what comes up? A secret only fire can reveal. In the common tongue, it says. You know what I mean. Stop stalling for time.
I think of it.
You'll stall over time. I can't remember it either, and I can recite all of them.
It's because of Ian McKellen and the way he talks in that bit.
Yeah. One ring.
Can't remember. I'm trying to recite the scene. My brain's just going back to the very
I
beginning.
know
of
there's.
the
And in the
movie.
darkness bind them. One ring to find them. One ring to rule them all is the last one. What's the first two? One ring to... I'm going to Google it now because it's annoying the life out of us. Sorry, there's going to be good video content. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. So the fact that it says darkness will bind them makes it seem like it's coming to the end of the show, end of the series.
But is that just relying on you knowing where that's from?
Ugh, so annoying. Like, just, what's wrong with showing you some stuff that people recognise and are looking forward to see? Why make it all so confused? Why does Gandalf need to be in it? If it's not Ian McKellen, why have him in it if it's not story appropriate? Sauron isn't at full strength yet. So why would Gandalf be there?
Gandalf doesn't come into it until after.
Yeah, the War of the
War of
First...
the- yeah.
War of the Last Alliance. I called it the War of the First Alliance there. But she's the queen. For some... Just going for a
swimming
swim,
in the
because that's
sea
for
again.
some... That's important for some reason.
Didn't she get blinded in the first season?
I can't remember.
He's travelling somewhere
Bombadil.
with a bunch of
Yeah, he'll probably
hobbits.
take 9 episodes to get to wherever he's going, and it's just down the road. See, I wouldn't be against seeing the likes of Durin's Bane getting unleashed on Moria. That's things that people enjoyed the sound of when they first announced this show, like before season 1 even came out. People were looking forward to seeing things like that. People want to see the War of the Last Alliance, but not if it's going to look the way the show has looked so far. I don't want to see the War of the Last Alliance if it's going to look like this show, because they'll ruin it for me. There's this bit about... What does he say?
What have you done to me?
So it's making it seem like he's got control over Celebrimbor, but how's he got control over Celebrimbor? And maybe he destroys Eregion. He gives it the big one. Adar gives it the big one. Leaves Sauron to me. Get out of here, you big wuss.
Is that him, do you think? Who is that? Is that Sauron?
It's a red hair. It might be.
Is disguise. Is that meant to be him?
Maybe.
Is that meant to be Ada? Do you think?
Probably not.
Is he gonna have a Boromir moment?
I hope not.
Leave my children of, orcs who no one really cares about because you're orcs.
Yeah.
Leave my children while I die for you and stuff. Is it gonna be like that? Because even look when you go back. Look who he's wearing. Look at his hair. I think it could be him. Has he got a bow in his hand?
No, he's got a sword.
I think it could be him.
It's just, it's so annoying.
Him. She's not gonna be in it again, is she?
Who?
I'm sure. I'm sure I saw some of that.
Oh, the wifey that was.
That yeah.
He was with.
His whole plot.
Yeah.
The last year. I'm pretty sure she's not in it.
What about her son?
I don't know.
Because they were making out as if they were going to be like.
Turned.
Yeah. Because it's not just orcs turned to Sauron's side.
So they back in Numenor?
Probably.
They go to Middle-earth and come back.
Are these the clothes of those who died? Is that going to be some nonsense? As if they didn't have more things to worry about. The giant flipping volcano that goes off near them and surrounds the land in smoke and dust. Something about Tolkien's world brings out the poet in me.
I don't know.
Oh, thank God they're going to fight the giant Balrog with axes.
I don't know how I felt about her in the first season. I liked her, and then she came across as a bit weird at the end.
Yeah.
Like she was plotting.
Yeah. So the spiders.
Yeah.
Childs of Ungoliant. There's also more dead things.
Is that Isildur?
Yeah.
So maybe he's still in Middle Earth. Didn't he go missing?
Oh yeah.
The first season he was under a collapsed building, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So is he going to be in Middle Earth? He's going to be stuck
Moria.
there.
Yeah.
Ent.
And wives. The Ent wives.
Is this an Ent wife?
I think so. It looks like an Ent wife. Doesn't have a beard.
Does that mean it's a wife? Okay.
So is it the Battle of Eregion? Is that what this is? Do the orcs attack Eregion?
That looks like Elrond.
Yeah, but then if they were attacking Eregion, then the elves would naturally come to try and save it, wouldn't they? But it's like, so let's say in a sort of hypothetical situation, does Sauron deceive Arda and the orcs into attacking Eregion because he tells them that they're forging weapons or some nonsense to kill them, and so they attack them before they can get them. Celebrimbor dies before any of the elves can get to him at the hands of Sauron, but it looks like it's the orcs. They're vastly outnumbered. The dwarves arrive to save them, but the dwarves, having in their hubris, have unleashed Durin's Bane, which destroys Moria instead. Because what happens to the 7 dwarf rings? They all get unaccounted for, don't they? Thrain passes it on to Thror. Oh, wait.
Thror passes it on to Thrain.
Yeah, Thrain gets taken by Sauron.
In the Hobbit movie, he gives it to Gandalf. In a deleted scene.
Doesn't give it to him, does he?
Oh no, Sauron takes it?
Yeah, he takes it. That's why he can pull him,
he
just
gave it to Gandalf.
eat him back up with a Wilhelm
Oh no,
scream.
because he's trying to get the one Gandalf has. That's what it is, isn't it? He's trying to get the elven one Gandalf has.
They don't look like orcs that he's fighting there.
Are they other elves?
Oh, they're people.
Oh, they're just...
Bats, because that's for some reason important.
It's not Gilgalad. Is that... Who is that? Celebrimbor.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. Throndir. King of the Eagles. Probably not, because I wouldn't be surprised if Throndir is dead at this point. Is it Throndir? Throndir? What? The one who basically fights Anne Callaghan with his legion of eagles, and Elendil with his flying, glowing ship. Come on, that's cool. Thorundir, the king of the eagles, fighting a giant dragon that's bigger than the universe. That's cool. If this is that eagle, I might wet my pants a little bit. He's got to have some serious testicular fortitude to fight a dragon like that. Yeah, it looks like Eregian's getting laid siege to, doesn't it? That's the... I might be saying the wrong name, but I'm pretty sure it's Eregian. It sounds elvish.
It's already forged. So they must be the dwarven
Are they
rings.
the dwarven though?
I mean, but they have to be. That's the story.
So okay, so let's suppose that Eregian gets destroyed at the beginning.
Right.
So Sauron gets the 7 rings at the beginning, gives them to the dwarves, and the story is less about the story is the elves are trying to figure out what Sauron's game is, but Sauron has already given the 7 rings to the dwarves without them knowing. It's only Durin mistrust that actually makes a little bit of sense to me. Durin starts suspecting his dad because this
His
random
dad's
gift,
dad's-
and then Mori is destroyed.
I know, but his dad was already kind of corrupt beforehand, wasn't he? He went.
But did he have that ring before? It might have just been, because the stereotypical thing about the dwarf is that they just retreat underground and don't trust anyone.
I know, but how would he already have a ring?
Well, he's given the ring after this.
Yeah, but his dad was already corrupt before, wasn't he? His dad was already a bit.
It was already a bit thing, but the thing I'm saying is the whole thing about the dwarves is that they just delve into the caves, don't they, and just forget everyone else. They don't care about anyone else. So maybe he was just stereotypical. That it wasn't portrayed very well. It seemed like he was already getting corrupted. But the dwarves are given these rings before Durin can tell Elrond or any of the elves that they've also gotten rings from some mysterious gifter. Mori is destroyed by Durin's bane. The orcs, first the orcs have to fight the dwarves after the War of the Last Alliance, and then it's taken over by orcs. I'm trying to piece together how this story. Let's face it, Gandalf's a lost cause. I don't care about that, but I'm trying to piece together what the order. But then that would take some serious more testicular fortitude if they're going to have the destruction of Eregion and Celebrimbor's death right near the beginning of the show. He will give him the 9. So what if he gets 16 rings off him?
He just forges them all,
Yeah,
except for the one ring.
all at once. Yeah, and then because obviously he forges the one ring himself, doesn't he? Because that's not the same battle.
No.
They are fighting orcs there, but it's not. Oh, it is. It is. There's a
So
Reggie in
they've
there.
already been there and started to destroy it, and now they're coming.
See, because part of that does actually make a little bit of sense to me. You put this at the beginning. The whole elf story is, why are we using these rings if they were supposedly created by Sauron? Galadriel's thing is, it's not corrupted me, but it secretly is corrupted me, but I'm not getting corrupted because I'm perfect. This takes place at the very beginning. Celebrimbor gives Sauron the rings that he's been tricked into making. 7 of them go to the dwarves early on, but then it's more about the dwarves. We're obviously still going to get snippets from elves and men, but it's more about the dwarves, and it's about the unleashing of Durin's bane, because then Durin and his dad can't get any kind of a message to Elrond about this person who's given them these rings, and they only find out that they have these rings further down the line when it's too late.
What is that?
Is it a prisoner?
Like a barrel in it?
Oh, it's a prisoner. Is it not a person? A cage. Oh my god! If that's Sauron in there, I'm gonna be so angry. Yeah, it's just that's the only plausible thing that I can think of.
It does make more sense, but
Again, it's gonna be. It's just. It's ugh. Just feels ugh. What? I mean, what in the Darth Vader crap is this? What the heck have they got on their faces?
Are these going to be the men, like, are these going to be somehow, like, the men that help Sauron? Do we think?
Oh, I don't know. I hope not. They just look
Are we going to see an
stupid.
Oliphant?
Oh, right. Those men, you mean?
They just
look so stupid. Everything looks terrible. Like, I respect the fact that they're going more practical with the look of some of the people, right? I respect that because God knows in The Hobbit and the first series of this, everything looked horrible. The orcs looked horrible. Ugh. But the armour looked horrible. Oh my god, the armour. The armour looked horrific. It's like they've gone, okay, we're going to do it practically this time. And then still thought, we know what we'll do. We'll give them friggin' General Grievous faces? Why? You know, there's... it's just simple things. Get the simple things right before you start giving people stupid masks. Oh, this day. I said I wasn't going to be a rant. Goodness sake. Anyway, yeah, that's the only thing I can... The only way that I can see it being plausible is if...
that happens early on.
The Battle of Vareggian happens early on, but I can't see them doing it.
It feels like it's going to be like a big like end of season.
Yeah, but then that's just so dumb. Oh. This might be a controversial thing to say, but Tolkien should not be this hard to get right. For goodness sake, Peter Jackson did it with... I know he didn't get it exactly perfectly right, but he did it with a shoestring budget in about 2 years. What? Why is it all gone so wrong? Just give me... Do you know what? Just give me Anne Callaghan, Thorondir, and Elendil in his flying glowing ship. That's all I need. But yeah. Anyway, that was us reacting to The Lord of the Rings San Diego Comic-Con trailer nonsense. God, she looks derpy there, doesn't she? Poo her. Hold on, let me get her eyes open. They just need to get Galadriel right as well. God, how have they gotten Galadriel so wrong? What is it they say? They say the elves. 3 rings were given to the elves. Wisest, fairest, and immortal. Wisest, fairest... Immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain hall. And 9 were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power. Right? Although I think that's a bit different in the book. I think it does say something like, to men who are doomed to die.
Right.
So, why is it making it seem like these are some Shakespearean, people struggling with these rings that have been built? Surely that's not the rings. The rings that they've been given have got power, but they're not corrupting like Sauron's ring is.
That's what it made it seem like in the trailer. Like, when it fell to her and she picked it up and you could hear like the whispering.
Yeah. Or Kate Blanchett would be turning in her grave if she was dead.
She's not...
It's not the lass's fault, and I hope people don't think that I'm blaming her for this, but this Galadriel has got nothing on Kate Blanchett's Galadriel. Even when she was nonsensical in The Hobbit. She's got nothing on her. Galadriel should be so ethereal. So like otherworldly. But she's not. She's acting like a teenager with a drug habit. Anyway, yeah. That was us reacting to that. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell, be notified when we upload. We'll hopefully upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
I don't know.
Do we do a reaction to this?
Probably should.
Are you desperate to watch? Because I'm not.
The hardest part about the first season was how slow it was.
Yeah. God.
It was so slow.
Yeah.
And then just sitting watching it and being like, oh my god, for the love of God, someone just do something.
Like every episode felt like it could have been 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
With all the unnecessary nonsense they could have cut
The
out.
same conversation over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, gee, just lie down, you pillock. Yeah. It's given me hope that there's going to be more in this one. Because, you know, I mean, last video I said about spectacle over story, but part of the cool thing about Lord of the Rings is the great big battles that take place. You know, well, that's the great big
but
battles
still-
if they're done like, you know, Pelennor and Helm's Deep, not like whatever the heck that was at the end of the first
I mean,
season.
it's still like a good story though.
Yeah.
It adds to it adds to the story, doesn't it?
God, I hope this gets better. I want it to be better for Rory Kinnear because he's really good. Really good as Henry V.
Who's that one?
He's Tom Bombadil. He's really good as Henry IV. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you for watching.
I need to know.